do it anyway. Mastering the Art of Action in the Face of Resistance. Written by Ronnie Rowland. Published by Growth Literacy Lounge. Introduction. You know the feeling well. That nagging sense of resistance that creeps in when you're faced with a challenge. The voice in your head that whispers maybe later, or I'm not ready yet. Whether it's starting a new project, pursuing a dream, or simply getting out of bed in the morning, we all encounter moments when taking action feels like the last thing we want to do. And yet, these are the very moments that define us. This book was born from that very philosophy. When I thought about writing this particular book, I wasn't in the right mindset to even craft the core message. The doubts and resistance were all too real. But I did it anyway. I pushed through, and what emerged was a realization that the act of doing, despite resistance, holds the power to transform our lives. This book is for anyone who's ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or paralyzed by doubt and fear. It's for those who know they have more to give but find themselves held back by the invisible forces of resistance. If you've ever asked yourself, why can't I just get started? Or what's stopping me from taking the next step? You're in the right place. Do it anyway. Mastering the Art of Action in the Face of Resistance, you'll discover that the key to success isn't about waiting for the right moment or the perfect circumstances. It's about learning to act despite your doubts, fears, and discomfort. This book is not a collection of motivational platitudes. It's a practical guide to understanding and overcoming the resistance that stands between you and your goals. Throughout these pages, we'll explore the psychology of resistance, why it holds such power over us, and most importantly, how to break free from its grip. You'll learn actionable strategies to push past inertia, cultivate resilience, and build the momentum needed to achieve your goals, no matter how daunting they may seem. We'll dive into real-life examples of individuals who have faced their own resistance and emerged stronger on the other side, and you'll be equipped with the tools to do the same. But this book is about more than just getting things done. It's about transformation. By mastering the art of action, you'll unlock new levels of personal and professional growth, proving to yourself that the greatest breakthroughs often occur in the moments when you push through resistance and do it anyway. So whether you're on the cusp of a new beginning, facing a challenge that feels insurmountable, or simply trying to build better habits, this book is your guide. It's time to stop waiting, stop doubting, and start doing. The journey to mastering the art of action begins here, and it starts with a simple but powerful decision: to do it anyway. We've noticed that 68% of you watching our videos haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Help us grow by hitting the subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you for inspiring us to keep creating content for you. I would love to hear your thoughts. How did this book resonate with you, and what insights or questions did it inspire? Chapter 1. Understanding Resistance and Inertia. It's 6 a.m., and your alarm blares through the stillness of your room. You groggily reach over to silence it, the temptation to hit the snooze button overwhelming. The bed is warm, your body is heavy, and every fiber of your being screams for just a few more minutes of sleep. You know you should get up, there's a workout waiting, or perhaps an early start on that project you've been putting off. But the resistance is powerful, almost tangible, and before you know it, you've surrendered to the comfort of inaction. This scenario is all too familiar. We've all been there, caught in the tug-of-war between our aspirations and the inertia that keeps us from taking the first step. It's in these moments that the mantra "do it anyway," especially when you don't feel like it, becomes most relevant. But what is this resistance? Why do we so often find ourselves paralyzed by inaction, even when we know what needs to be done? Resistance is that invisible force that arises whenever you want to make a change or take action. It's the voice in your head that whispers all the reasons why you can't or shouldn't do something. It's the feeling of dread that creeps in before you tackle a challenging task. But more than anything, resistance is a natural, albeit frustrating, part of the human experience. Let's acknowledge something right here: resistance is not a sign of weakness. It's not proof that you lack discipline or willpower. In fact, resistance is universal, everyone experiences it. The successful entrepreneur, the dedicated athlete, the accomplished artist, they all face resistance. The difference is that they've learned to recognize it for what it is, a test of resolve. Here's the truth: the moments when you feel the most resistance are often the moments when action is most necessary. It's easy to do the things that feel good or come naturally. But true growth and transformation occur when you push through the discomfort, when you take action even when you don't feel like it. That's where the magic happens. Inertia, the tendency to remain unchanged, is closely linked to resistance. It's the force that keeps you stuck in your current state, preventing you from moving forward. Inertia feeds on routine and comfort, thriving in the familiar. The longer you stay in one place, whether it's a literal place, a mental state, or a set of habits, the harder it becomes to break free. Research in psychology shows that our brains are wired to resist change. The status quo feels safe, and change often triggers feelings of uncertainty and fear. This is why inertia can be so powerful. Your brain is actively working to keep you in a state of comfort. But here's the catch: comfort rarely leads to growth. Think about a time when you wanted to make a change but found yourself stuck. What kept you from moving forward? Was it fear of the unknown, a lack of motivation, or simply the comfort of your current routine? Recognizing the source of your inertia is the first step toward overcoming it. Consider the story of John, a successful executive who found himself stuck in a rut. Despite his achievements, he felt unfulfilled and yearned for something more. He knew that making a change, whether it was pursuing a new career, starting a business, or even just developing a new hobby, would require effort and risk. And so for years he did nothing. The comfort of his routine, the security of his job, and the fear of failure kept him locked in place. It wasn't until John embraced the idea of doing it anyway that he began to see progress. He started small, taking tiny steps outside of his comfort zone. Each time he felt the resistance, he acknowledged it and chose to act anyway. Over time, these small actions compounded, leading to significant changes in his life and career. The resistance never fully went away, but John learned to see it as a signal, not a signal to stop, but a signal to start. So, how can you start seeing resistance as an opportunity rather than a barrier? Begin by identifying those moments of resistance in your daily life. Notice when you feel that internal struggle and ask yourself, what action am I avoiding? Why? Then, make a conscious choice to do it anyway. Start small if you need to, but start. Each time you push through the resistance, you're training yourself to act despite it, building the muscle of resilience and determination. 1. Pay attention to when and where you feel resistance. Is it in the morning when you're trying to get out of bed? Is it when you're facing a difficult task at work? Keep a journal to track these moments. 2. When you recognize inertia setting in, consciously disrupt it. Change your environment, set a timer to start a task, or break the task into smaller, more manageable parts. 3. Start with one small action you can take today, even if you don't feel like it. Whether it's a 10-minute workout, sending that email, or starting a new project, take that step. 4. At the end of each day, reflect on the actions you took despite resistance. What was the outcome? How did it feel? Use these reflections to build momentum for the next day. Chapter 2. The cost of inaction. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, open field. In the distance, you see a forest, lush and full of potential, a new opportunity, a goal you've set for yourself, a dream that's been quietly calling your name. You know that to reach it, you must cross the field. But instead of moving forward, you remain rooted to the spot, weighed down by uncertainty, fear, or the deceptive comfort of where you stand. Each day you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, yet tomorrow comes and goes, and still, you remain. What happens when we allow ourselves to stay put, to do nothing? The cost of inaction is rarely immediate, but it is profound. It slowly erodes our dreams, limits our potential, and keeps us stuck in a place far from where we want to be. In this chapter, we'll explore the true cost of inaction, how it impacts our lives, our goals, and our sense of self, and why taking that first step, however small, is always worth it. It's easy to put off action when there's no immediate consequence. Skipping a workout today doesn't instantly lead to poor health, just as postponing that business idea doesn't immediately result in failure. But over time, these small decisions accumulate, creating a gap between where we are and where we want to be. This gap is the space where unfulfilled dreams reside, and it grows wider each day we choose inaction. Think about a dream or goal you've had for a long time. Perhaps it's something you've always wanted to do: write a book, start a business, learn a new skill, but you've never taken the plunge. Each time you delay, that dream seems a little more distant, a little less attainable. This is the slow, silent cost of inaction, the gradual erosion of the possibilities we once believed in. What dreams have you put on hold? How long have they been waiting for you to take the first step? Imagine where you might be now if you had started when the idea first came to you. The reality is, every day of inaction carries a price that's often hidden, but always present. Inaction doesn't just affect our external goals, it also takes a toll on how we see ourselves. When we repeatedly choose not to act, we reinforce a narrative of doubt and fear. Over time, this can erode our self-confidence and diminish our belief in our own capabilities. Research in psychology suggests that our actions, or lack thereof, shape our self-perception. When we consistently avoid taking steps toward our goals, we begin to internalize a sense of failure or inadequacy. This becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more we avoid action, the less capable we feel, and the less likely we are to take action in the future. This cycle of inaction and self-doubt can be incredibly destructive, leading to a diminished sense of self-worth and missed opportunities. But here's the good news: this cycle can be broken. Each time you take action, no matter how small, you challenge the narrative of inaction and build a new story, one of empowerment, capability, and growth. By choosing to act, you affirm your own potential and set in motion a positive feedback loop of confidence and success. Consider the story of Sarah, who always dreamed of starting her own business. For years, she talked about it, planned for it, even saved money to make it happen. But when the time came to take the first step, fear held her back. What if it fails, she thought. What if I'm not good enough? And so, she stayed in her comfortable but unfulfilling job, telling herself she would start someday. Years passed, and the opportunity to start that business slipped away. The market changed, her circumstances changed, and eventually, Sarah realized that the window for her dream had closed. The cost of inaction wasn't just a missed business opportunity, it was the loss of a dream, a chance to create something meaningful, and the belief in her ability to do so. Sarah's story is not uncommon. Many of us have experienced the pain of missed opportunities, of dreams deferred until it's too late. The long-term consequences of inaction can be far-reaching, affecting not only our goals but also our happiness and fulfillment. But it doesn't have to be this way. By recognizing the cost of inaction, we can choose to act before the price becomes too high. So how do we break free from the cycle of inaction? It starts with acknowledging the cost. Once you understand what's at stake, the dreams you risk losing, the potential you're not realizing, it becomes easier to find the motivation to take that first step. Remember, the key is not to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, but to act anyway, especially when you don't feel like it. Here are some steps you can take to break the cycle of inaction. 1. Take a moment to reflect on what inaction has cost you so far. What opportunities have you missed? What dreams have you deferred? Write these down to make the cost tangible. 2. Don't wait for the perfect conditions to take action. Start with something small, a phone call, a brief planning session, or even just 10 minutes of work on your goal. The important thing is to get moving. 3. Focus on short-term, achievable goals that can help you build momentum. As you accomplish these, you'll gain confidence and motivation to tackle bigger challenges. 4. Consistency is key to overcoming inaction. Commit to taking small steps every day, even when you don't feel like it. Over time, these actions will compound into significant progress. 5. Take the time to acknowledge and celebrate each step you take. This positive reinforcement will help sustain your motivation and keep you moving forward. The cost of inaction is real, but it's not inevitable. By choosing to act, you can change the trajectory of your life, moving closer to your goals and realizing your full potential. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so take that step today and don't look back. Chapter 3. Small Steps, Big Impact. Picture this. You're standing at the base of a towering mountain. The peak seems impossibly high, shrouded in mist, and the path ahead is steep and rocky. The thought of reaching the top feels overwhelming, maybe even impossible. But then, you take a closer look at the ground beneath your feet. You realize that before you can reach the summit, all you need to do is take one step, then another, and another. Slowly, methodically, you move forward, and with each small step, the peak draws nearer. This is the power of small steps. When faced with a daunting goal or challenge, it's easy to feel paralyzed by the enormity of what lies ahead. But breaking down your journey into small, manageable steps makes this seemingly impossible, not only possible but achievable. In this chapter, we'll explore how taking small, consistent actions can lead to significant progress and profound transformation. It's a common trap. We set our sights on big, audacious goals, writing a book, starting a business, losing a significant amount of weight, and then we freeze. The size of the goal makes it feel unattainable, and so we do nothing. Or we wait for the perfect moment to make a grand gesture, hoping that one massive effort will propel us to success. But here's the thing, while big goals are inspiring, they're also overwhelming. And when we focus solely on the end result, we lose sight of the small, daily actions that actually lead to success. We underestimate the power of small steps because they don't feel significant in the moment. But over time, these small steps add up, creating a ripple effect that can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Think about a goal you've set in the past. Did you take small, consistent actions toward it, or were you waiting for a big breakthrough moment? How might your approach have changed if you had focused on taking one small step each day? Research in behavioral psychology supports the idea that small steps are more effective for creating lasting change. The concept, known as Kaizen, comes from Japanese business practices and focuses on continuous improvement through small, incremental changes. This approach is particularly effective because it reduces the fear and resistance that often accompany large-scale change. When you take small steps, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed, and more likely to build confidence as you see progress. Each small success reinforces your ability to take the next step, creating a positive feedback loop. Over time, these small steps compound, leading to significant changes that might have seemed impossible at the outset. The beauty of small steps is that they're achievable, no matter where you are or what resources you have. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions. You can start right now, today, with whatever you have at your disposal. And as you continue to take small steps, you'll find that the momentum builds, carrying you closer and closer to your goal. Consider the story of David, who decided to run his first marathon. At the time, David wasn't a runner. In fact, he could barely jog a mile without getting winded. The idea of running 26.2 miles was daunting, to say the least. But instead of focusing on the entire distance, David decided to start small. His first goal was simply to run for 5 minutes without stopping. Once he could do that, he aimed for 10 minutes, then 15, and so on. Over the course of several months, David's small, incremental progress added up. He didn't start by running marathons, he started by taking one small step at a time. And on the day of the marathon, those small steps had prepared him to run the full distance. David's story is a powerful reminder that big goals are achieved through a series of small, consistent actions. David's experience is not unique. Whether it's running a marathon, building a business, or achieving any other significant goal, the key is to break it down into manageable steps. By focusing on the process, rather than the outcome, you can reduce the overwhelm and make steady progress toward your goal. Small steps may seem insignificant on their own, but their true power lies in their cumulative effect. This is the principle of compounding. Just as interest on an investment grows over time, so too do the results of small, consistent actions. Each small step builds on the last, creating momentum that propels you forward. Consider the story of the 1% improvement. This concept, popularized by British cycling coach Dave Brailsford, emphasizes the idea that if you can improve by just 1% each day, those small gains will add up to significant improvement over time. Brailsford applied this principle to British cycling, focusing on marginal gains in areas like nutrition, equipment, and training. The result? British cyclists went from being mediocre to dominating the sport, winning multiple Olympic medals and Tour de France titles. This same principle can be applied to any area of your life. By committing to small, consistent improvements, you can achieve remarkable results over time. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about making small, steady progress that compounds into significant achievement. Here's how you can start applying the small steps approach to your goals. 1. Start by breaking your goal down into its smallest components. What's the smallest action you can take today to move closer to your goal? 2. Create micro goals that are easy to achieve and build confidence. For example, if your goal is to write a book, start with a goal to write just 1 paragraph a day. 3. Commit to taking one small action every day. consistency is more important than intensity, so focus on making small, sustainable changes. 4. Keep a journal or log of your daily actions. Seeing your progress over time will help you stay motivated and committed. 5. Don't wait until you achieve the big goal to celebrate. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate each small step along the way. The journey to achieving your goals doesn't have to be overwhelming. By focusing on small steps, you can make steady progress, build momentum, and ultimately reach the summit. Remember, the key to big rewards is in the small, consistent actions you take every day. So start today with one small step, and watch as it leads to big, transformative results. Chapter 4. Embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a cold, choppy sea. You've been told that somewhere across the water lies an island of incredible opportunity, success, fulfillment, and growth await you there. But to reach it, you must plunge into the icy waters, knowing that the journey will be long, uncomfortable, and fraught with challenges. It's tempting to stay on the shore, where it's safe and familiar, but deep down you know that the real reward lies on the other side. This is what embracing discomfort feels like. The truth is, growth and success often require us to step into uncomfortable situations, to stretch beyond our current capabilities, and to endure challenges that push us to our limits. In this chapter, we'll explore how discomfort, far from being something to avoid, can be a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. Let's be honest, nobody likes to feel uncomfortable. Whether it's the physical discomfort of pushing your body during a workout, the emotional discomfort of facing a difficult conversation, or the psychological discomfort of taking a big risk, our natural instinct is to avoid pain and seek out comfort. It's a survival mechanism that has kept humans safe for millennia. But in today's world, this instinct can hold us back. Comfort zones, while safe and familiar, are also places of stagnation. When we avoid discomfort, we avoid the very experiences that have the potential to transform us. We stay stuck in routines, habits, and mindsets that no longer serve us, missing out on the growth that comes from stepping into the unknown. Think about a time when you chose comfort over challenge. What did you gain by staying in your comfort zone? What did you lose? How might your life be different now if you had embraced discomfort instead? Psychologists often describe the growth zone as the area just outside our comfort zone where learning and development occur. It's in this zone that we encounter challenges that stretch our abilities, force us to learn new skills, and ultimately lead to personal and professional growth. The growth zone is uncomfortable by design. If it were easy, everyone would be there all the time. But the discomfort we feel in the growth zone isn't a sign that something is wrong, it's a sign that we're pushing our boundaries and expanding our potential. Studies have shown that moderate levels of stress or discomfort can enhance performance and lead to greater resilience. This is known as eustress or positive stress, which helps us adapt to new situations and overcome obstacles. The next time you feel discomfort, instead of retreating, consider it a sign that you're on the right path. Embrace the challenge, knowing that on the other side of discomfort lies growth, progress, and the opportunity to achieve something greater than you ever thought possible. Consider the story of Maria, a young professional who was terrified of public speaking. Despite her fear, she knew that improving her speaking skills was essential for advancing in her career. So Maria decided to face her discomfort head-on. She started small, volunteering to give brief presentations at team meetings. Each time, her heart raced and her palms sweated, but she pushed through the discomfort. Over time, Maria's confidence grew. She began taking on larger speaking engagements, each one pushing her further out of her comfort zone. Eventually, what started as a source of intense fear became one of her greatest strengths. Today, Maria is a sought-after speaker, known for her ability to connect with audiences and inspire action. Her success is a testament to the power of embracing discomfort as a pathway to growth. Maria's journey wasn't easy. She faced her fears and discomfort repeatedly, but with each step she grew stronger and more capable. Her story is a reminder that discomfort is not something to be feared but something to be embraced. It's through discomfort that we discover our true potential. Here are some strategies you can use to embrace discomfort and turn it into a catalyst for growth. 1. Identify areas in your life where you've been avoiding discomfort. Choose one small, manageable challenge to start with, something that pushes you slightly out of your comfort zone but isn't overwhelming. 2. Change the way you think about discomfort. Instead of seeing it as something negative, view it as a sign of growth. Remind yourself that each time you feel uncomfortable, you're expanding your abilities and preparing for greater challenges. 3. When you feel discomfort, take a moment to pause and observe your feelings without judgment. Acknowledge the discomfort, but don't let it dictate your actions. Use mindfulness techniques to stay present and focused on your goals. 4. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. Share your goals and challenges with them, and ask for their support in pushing through discomfort. 5. After facing a discomforting situation, take time to reflect on what you learned and how you grew. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and use it as motivation to continue challenging yourself. Discomfort is a natural part of the growth process. It's a signal that you're pushing your limits and moving towards something greater. By embracing discomfort, you unlock new levels of potential and open the door to transformation. Remember, the path to success and fulfillment isn't always easy, but it's in those challenging moments that you discover what you're truly capable of. So the next time you feel the urge to retreat into your comfort zone, take a deep breath and step forward into the growth zone, because that's where the magic happens. Chapter 5. Breaking through fear and doubt. Imagine standing at the entrance of a dark tunnel. On the other side lies the life you've always wanted, the success, fulfillment, and happiness you've been striving for. But between you and that life, the tunnel looms large, filled with shadows of fear and doubt. These shadows whisper in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that the risk is too great. The thought of moving forward is terrifying, yet you know that staying where you are means giving up on your dreams. Fear and doubt are powerful forces, capable of paralyzing us and keeping us stuck in place. But what if I told you that these shadows, as daunting as they seem, are not impenetrable? What if you could break through them, step into the tunnel, and come out on the other side stronger and more resilient? In this chapter, we'll explore how to confront and overcome the fear and doubt that hold us back, so you can move forward with confidence and courage. Fear and doubt are universal experiences. Everyone, at some point, has felt the grip of these emotions. Whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or the doubt that you're not capable enough, these feelings can be overwhelming. They arise from deep-seated beliefs and past experiences, often rooted in our desire to protect ourselves from harm or disappointment. It's important to acknowledge that fear and doubt are not inherently bad. In fact, they can serve as protective mechanisms, warning us of potential dangers. However, when these emotions are left unchecked, they can become obstacles that prevent us from taking the necessary risks to grow and achieve our goals. Think about a time when fear or doubt held you back. What were you afraid of? What doubts did you have about yourself or your abilities? How did these feelings influence your actions or lack thereof? When we allow fear and doubt to control our decisions, we pay a significant price. These emotions can lead to missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and a life lived in the shadow of what could have been. Studies in psychology show that people who consistently avoid taking risks due to fear and doubt often experience regret later in life, as they look back on the opportunities they didn't seize. Moreover, fear and doubt can become self-reinforcing. The more we give in to them, the stronger they become, creating a cycle of avoidance and inaction. This cycle not only limits our achievements but also diminishes our self-esteem and confidence over time. But here's the empowering truth: fear and doubt, while powerful, are not insurmountable. They are like shadows, intangible, and often exaggerated by our minds. When you confront these shadows head-on, you begin to see them for what they truly are: temporary obstacles that can be overcome. Breaking through fear and doubt is not about eliminating these feelings entirely, but about learning to act in spite of them. Consider the story of Michael, an aspiring entrepreneur with a passion for innovation. Michael had a brilliant idea for a startup that he believed could revolutionize the industry. However, as he began to develop his business plan, doubts crept in. What if it fails? What if people think it's a stupid idea? The fear of failure and the judgment of others became so overwhelming that Michael almost abandoned his dream. But instead of giving in, Michael decided to confront his fears. He sought out advice from mentors, who helped him see that fear and doubt were natural parts of the entrepreneurial journey. With their encouragement, Michael decided to take the plunge. He launched his startup, and while the journey wasn't easy, it was successful. Michael's willingness to face his fears and move forward despite them was the key to his success. Michael's story is a powerful reminder that fear and doubt are not signs of weakness, they're part of the process. What matters is how you respond to them. Will you allow them to keep you in the shadows, or will you find the courage to move forward and create the life you want? Here are some strategies you can use to break through fear and doubt. 1. The first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. Don't try to ignore or suppress it. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a natural response to uncertainty. Write down your fears and doubts to make them tangible and easier to address. 2. Fear and doubt are often fueled by negative thoughts and assumptions. Challenge these thoughts by asking yourself, is this really true, or what evidence do I have that this will happen often? You'll find that your fears are based on worst-case scenarios that are unlikely to occur. 3. Replace negative thoughts with positive visualization. Imagine yourself succeeding despite your fears. Visualize the steps you'll take, the obstacles you'll overcome, and the rewards you'll achieve. This can help build your confidence and reduce the power of fear and doubt. 4. Start by taking small, manageable steps toward your goal. Each time you take action, you weaken the hold that fear and doubt have on you. As you build momentum, your confidence will grow, making it easier to take bigger steps in the future. 5. Don't face your fears and doubts alone. Share your goals and challenges with trusted friends, mentors, or a support group. Having others to encourage and hold you accountable can make a significant difference in overcoming fear and doubt. 6. Instead of viewing failure as something to be feared, reframe it as a learning opportunity. Every failure brings valuable lessons that can guide you toward future success. By changing your perspective on failure, you reduce the fear associated with it. Fear and doubt are natural parts of any journey toward growth and success, but they don't have to dictate your actions. By acknowledging these emotions, challenging the thoughts that fuel them, and taking small, courageous steps forward, you can break through the barriers that hold you back. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward in spite of it. So take a deep breath, face the shadows, and step into the tunnel. The life you've always wanted is waiting on the other side. Chapter 6. The role of habit in consistent action. Consider the daily routines of highly successful people, whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, or leaders. At first glance, their accomplishments might seem to be the result of extraordinary talent or luck. But look closer, and you'll find that the true secret to their success lies not in their innate abilities, but in their habits. These individuals have mastered the art of consistent action, turning small, repetitive tasks into powerful habits that propel them toward their goals. Habits are the foundation upon which consistent action is built. They are the automatic behaviors that guide our daily lives, often without us even realizing it. When cultivated intentionally, habits can become the driving force behind our success, helping us to take action even when motivation wanes. In this chapter, we'll explore the role of habit in achieving consistent action, and how you can harness the power of habits to create lasting change. Habits are deeply ingrained patterns of behavior that are triggered by specific cues and reinforced by rewards. The science of habit formation is rooted in the brain's ability to automate tasks, conserving mental energy for more complex decisions. This process is known as chunking, where the brain groups actions together into a routine that can be executed with minimal conscious thought. Charles Duhigg, in his book The Power of Habit, describes the habit loop, which consists of three components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward is the positive reinforcement that makes the behavior worth repeating. Understanding this loop is crucial for both creating new habits and breaking old ones. But let's be honest, forming a new habit isn't always easy. It requires effort, persistence, and sometimes a bit of trial and error. The good news is that by understanding how habits work, you can take control of your routines and design them to support your goals. The key is to start small, be consistent, and focus on the process rather than the outcome. Think about a habit you've tried to establish in the past. What was the cue that triggered the behavior? What reward were you seeking? Did the habit stick, or did you find yourself falling back into old patterns? Understanding these elements can help you refine your approach to habit formation. One of the most powerful aspects of habits is their ability to turn small, consistent actions into significant results over time. This is where the concept of atomic habits, as described by James Clear, comes into play. Clear argues that small habits, when repeated consistently, compound over time to produce remarkable outcomes. It's not about making massive changes all at once, it's about making small, incremental improvements every day. Imagine you want to become a more active person. Instead of committing to an hour-long workout every day from the start, you might begin with just 5 minutes of exercise each morning. This small action, if repeated consistently, can eventually lead to a more substantial fitness routine. The beauty of this approach is that it reduces the intimidation factor of large goals and makes it easier to start and sustain new habits. Research supports this idea of small, consistent actions leading to significant change. Studies have shown that people who start with small, manageable goals are more likely to stick with them over the long term. This is because small goals are less overwhelming, easier to achieve, and provide quick wins that build momentum and confidence. Consider the story of Jane, an aspiring author who dreamed of writing a novel. For years, she struggled to find the time and motivation to write, often going months without putting a single word on the page. Frustrated by her lack of progress, Jane decided to change her approach. Instead of waiting for large blocks of time to write, she committed to writing just 200 words a day, no more, no less. At first, this small goal felt almost trivial, but Jane stuck with it. Each day, she sat down to write her 200 words, and slowly but surely, her manuscript began to take shape. The habit of daily writing became ingrained, and over time, Jane found herself writing more than 200 words as the momentum built. Within a year, she had completed the first draft of her novel. Jane's experience highlights the power of small, consistent actions. By focusing on the process rather than the end result, she was able to establish a habit that eventually led to the completion of her novel. Her story is a reminder that you don't need to make drastic changes to achieve your goals. Small, consistent steps can lead to big results. Here are some strategies to help you build habits that support consistent action. 1. Start by identifying the cues that trigger your current habits. What situations, emotions, or environments prompt you to take certain actions? Use these cues to your advantage when establishing new habits. 2. Choose a small, manageable action that you can repeat consistently. Focus on making this action a daily habit, even if it feels insignificant at first. Remember, consistency is more important than intensity. 3. Identify a reward that you'll receive after completing your habit. This could be something simple, like a feeling of accomplishment or a small treat. The reward reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely that you'll repeat it. 4. Use the habit stacking technique to build new habits onto existing ones. For example, if you already have a habit of making coffee every morning, you could add a new habit of reading for 10 minutes while you drink your coffee. 5. Keep track of your habit building efforts. Whether it's through a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, tracking your progress can help you stay motivated and see how far you've come. 6. Remember that building a new habit takes time. It's normal to encounter setbacks, but the key is to keep going. Focus on progress, not perfection, and give yourself grace as you work toward your goals. Habits are the building blocks of consistent action. By understanding how habits work and intentionally cultivating them, you can create a foundation for success that carries you forward even when motivation wanes. Remember, it's not about making dramatic changes overnight, it's about making small, consistent improvements that compound over time. By focusing on the process and trusting in the power of habit, you can achieve your goals and create lasting change in your life. Chapter 7. Accountability, the secret weapon. Imagine for a moment that you've set a significant goal. Perhaps you've decided to train for a marathon, launch a business, or write a book. The excitement of the goal motivates you in the beginning, but as the days turn into weeks, the initial enthusiasm starts to wane. The long runs become daunting, the business plans seem overwhelming, or the blank page of your manuscript stares back at you, unyielding. Without someone to hold you accountable, it becomes all too easy to skip a day, postpone a task, or even abandon the goal altogether. This is where accountability comes in. Accountability is the secret weapon that keeps you on track, even when motivation fades and obstacles arise. When you're accountable to someone else, whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a group, you're more likely to follow through on your commitments. In this chapter, we'll explore how accountability can be leveraged to achieve consistent action and long-term success. Accountability works because it taps into our social instincts. Humans are inherently social beings, and our actions are often influenced by how others perceive us. When we commit to a goal publicly or in the presence of others, we create a sense of obligation to follow through. This is partly due to the psychological phenomenon known as social proof, where we seek validation and approval from others by adhering to social norms and expectations. Research supports the effectiveness of accountability in achieving goals. Studies have shown that people who share their goals with others and receive regular check-ins are significantly more likely to succeed than those who keep their goals to themselves. The act of reporting progress to someone else creates a sense of responsibility and provides external motivation, especially during moments of doubt or temptation. But let's face it, being accountable isn't always comfortable. It means being honest about your progress, including the setbacks and challenges you face along the way. It requires vulnerability and a willingness to accept feedback, even when it's tough to hear. However, this discomfort is often the catalyst for growth, pushing you to stay committed and persevere through difficulties. Think about a goal you've struggled to achieve in the past. Were you accountable to anyone during that process? How might things have been different if you had someone to check in with regularly and to hold you to your commitments? Accountability can take many forms, depending on your needs and the nature of your goals. Here are a few common types of accountability that you can leverage. 1. This is the self-driven form of accountability where you hold yourself responsible for your actions. It involves setting clear goals, tracking your progress, and using tools like journals, apps, or checklists to stay on track. While personal accountability is important, it often lacks the external pressure needed to sustain long-term commitment. 2. An accountability partner is someone with whom you share your goals and check in regularly. This could be a friend, colleague, or family member who is also working toward their own goals. The mutual support and encouragement from an accountability partner can be incredibly motivating, as both parties benefit from the relationship. 3. A mentor is someone who has experience and expertise in the area you're striving to improve. They provide guidance, feedback, and accountability, helping you stay on course while offering valuable insights. The mentor-mentee relationship often involves regular check-ins and discussions about progress, challenges, and next steps. 4. These are groups of individuals who come together to support each other in achieving their goals. Accountability groups can be formal or informal, and they often meet regularly to share progress, offer advice, and provide encouragement. Being part of a group adds a collective dynamic to accountability, where each member is motivated by the progress of others. 5. This involves making your goals public, either through social media, blogs, or other platforms. When you announce your intentions publicly, you create a sense of obligation to follow through, knowing that others are watching and expecting updates on your progress. Consider the story of Tom, a software developer who wanted to transition into a leadership role within his company. Tom knew that this transition would require him to develop new skills, such as public speaking and team management. However, despite his best intentions, he struggled to find the time and motivation to work on these skills. Realizing that he needed help, Tom reached out to a colleague, Sarah, who had recently gone through a similar transition. They agreed to become accountability partners, meeting once a week to discuss their goals and progress. Sarah's support and feedback were invaluable to Tom. On the days when he felt too tired or overwhelmed to practice his public speaking, the knowledge that he would have to report back to Sarah kept him on track. Over time, Tom's skills improved, and he successfully transitioned into the leadership role he had been aiming for. He credits much of his success to the accountability partnership with Sarah, which provided the external motivation and support he needed to stay committed to his goals. Tom's experience highlights the transformative power of having someone in your corner, someone who believes in your potential and holds you accountable to your commitments. Whether it's an accountability partner, mentor, or group, having that external support can make all the difference in achieving your goals. Here are some strategies to help you incorporate accountability into your goal-setting process. 1. Choose the right accountability partner. Look for someone who shares similar values and goals, and who will be honest and supportive. It's important to choose someone you trust and respect, as this will make the accountability relationship more effective. 2. Establish the frequency and format of your check-ins. Will you meet weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? Will your check-ins be in person, over the phone, or via email? Setting clear expectations will help both parties stay committed. 3. During your check-ins, be honest about your progress, including any setbacks or challenges. accountability works best when both parties are transparent and willing to provide constructive feedback. 4. Accountability isn't just about pointing out where you fall short, it's also about celebrating successes. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate the progress you've made, both individually and as a team. 5. Life happens, and sometimes things don't go as planned. Be willing to adjust your goals or approach if necessary, and encourage your accountability partner to do the same. The key is to maintain momentum and stay committed to the overall goal. Accountability is one of the most powerful tools you can use to stay consistent in your actions and achieve your goals. By making yourself accountable to someone else, you create a sense of responsibility and external motivation that keeps you on track, even when the going gets tough. Remember, you don't have to go it alone, whether it's an accountability partner, mentor, or group. Having someone to support and hold you accountable can make all the difference in your journey towards success. Chapter 8. Overcoming perfectionism. Imagine sitting down to work on a project that's important to you. You're excited, full of ideas, and ready to dive in. But as soon as you begin, a voice in your head starts whispering, "This isn't good enough, you need to get it just right, what if people judge you?" What started as enthusiasm quickly turns into frustration, and instead of making progress, you find yourself stuck, endlessly tweaking and revising, or worse, not starting at all. This is the paradox of perfectionism. On the surface, it seems like a noble pursuit, the desire to produce high-quality work and avoid mistakes. But in reality, perfectionism often leads to procrastination, paralysis, and unfulfilled potential. In this chapter, we'll explore how to recognize and overcome perfectionism, so you can take consistent action and move forward with confidence, even when things aren't perfect. Perfectionism is more than just a drive to do well. It's a psychological pattern rooted in fear. At its core, perfectionism is often driven by a fear of failure, rejection, or criticism. Perfectionists set impossibly high standards for themselves and are overly critical of their own work. This can lead to a vicious cycle, where the fear of not meeting these standards prevents them from taking action in the first place. Research in psychology has shown that perfectionism is linked to anxiety, depression, and burnout. When the focus shifts from doing your best to avoiding mistakes at all costs, it becomes difficult to make decisions, take risks, or accept any outcome that isn't flawless. This fear of imperfection stifles creativity, hinders progress, and ultimately prevents personal and professional growth. If you've ever struggled with perfectionism, you're not alone. Many people, especially high achievers, fall into the trap of thinking that their worth is tied to their ability to perform perfectly. It's important to recognize that perfectionism isn't about striving for excellence, it's about being trapped by the fear of not being perfect. Think about a time when perfectionism held you back. What were you afraid of? How did it affect your ability to take action or complete a task? Understanding the fear behind your perfectionism is the first step in overcoming it. The cost of perfectionism can be high, both personally and professionally. Perfectionists often struggle with procrastination because the fear of not getting it right the first time can be paralyzing. This can lead to missed deadlines, incomplete projects, and opportunities that slip through the cracks. Moreover, perfectionism can damage relationships. When you hold yourself to impossibly high standards, you may also project these expectations onto others, leading to frustration and disappointment when they inevitably fall short. This can create tension in personal and professional relationships and may even lead to isolation, as perfectionists often avoid collaboration for fear of losing control over the outcome. But here's the truth: perfection isn't attainable, and it's not necessary for success. In fact, some of the most successful and innovative people in history were those who embraced imperfection, took risks, and learned from their mistakes. By letting go of the need to be perfect, you open yourself up to new possibilities, creativity, and growth. Consider the areas of your life where perfectionism has cost you the most, whether in missed opportunities, strained relationships, or personal stress. How might your life be different if you allowed yourself to be imperfect and take action anyway? Consider the story of Thomas Edison, one of the most prolific inventors in history. Edison is often celebrated for his successes, but what's less commonly known is the sheer number of failures he encountered along the way. When working on the light bulb, Edison tested thousands of materials before finding one that worked. Each failure brought him one step closer to success. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is the antithesis of perfectionism. Instead of fearing mistakes, Edison embraced them as part of the learning process. His willingness to take imperfect action and learn from his failures is what ultimately led to his groundbreaking innovations. Edison's story is a powerful reminder that progress often comes from imperfection. When you allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them, you free yourself from the paralysis of perfectionism and open the door to creativity and innovation. Here are some strategies to help you overcome perfectionism and start taking action. 1. Start by setting standards that are challenging but attainable. Recognize that good enough is often all that's needed to move forward, and that perfection is an unrealistic and unnecessary goal. 2. Shift your focus from the outcome to the process. Celebrate the progress you make along the way, even if it's not perfect. Remember that each step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward your goal. 3. Be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes, treat them as learning opportunities. Self-compassion helps to reduce the anxiety and stress that fuel perfectionism. 4. Challenge yourself to take action, even when it's not perfect. This might mean sending an email that isn't perfectly worded, sharing a draft that isn't fully polished, or trying something new without mastering it first. The goal is to build momentum and break the cycle of inaction. 5. Don't be afraid to share your work with others, even when it's not perfect. Feedback from trusted sources can provide valuable insights and help you improve without the pressure of perfectionism. It also reinforces the idea that your worth is not tied to flawless performance. 6. Recognize when perfectionism is taking over, and set boundaries to protect your time and energy. This might mean limiting the number of revisions you allow yourself or setting a time limit for completing a task. Perfectionism can be a major roadblock on the path to success, but it doesn't have to be. By recognizing the fear that drives perfectionism and taking steps to overcome it, you can break free from the paralysis of perfection and start making meaningful progress toward your goals. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about moving forward, learning, and growing along the way. Embrace imperfection, take action, and watch as your efforts compound into success. Chapter 9. The Art of Starting Over. Imagine this. You've been working diligently toward a goal. Maybe it's building a business, pursuing a new career, or committing to a healthier lifestyle. You've made progress, but then life throws you a curveball. Maybe it's a personal setback, a professional failure, or simply the realization that your initial approach isn't working. Suddenly, all your hard work feels like it's unraveling, and you're faced with a daunting choice: give up or start over. Starting over is never easy. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to let go of past efforts that didn't pan out. But it's also an opportunity, a chance to apply what you've learned, refine your approach, and pursue your goals with renewed focus and energy. In this chapter, we'll explore the art of starting over and how embracing new beginnings can lead to even greater success. Starting over can be intimidating. There's often a deep sense of loss associated with abandoning something you've invested time, energy, and emotion into. It feels like admitting defeat, and that can be a hard pill to swallow. Moreover, the prospect of beginning again from scratch can trigger fears of failure, judgment, and uncertainty. But the truth is, starting over doesn't mean you're back at square one. Every setback, failure, or redirection comes with valuable lessons and experiences that can inform your next steps. It's not about erasing the past, it's about building on it in a way that moves you closer to your ultimate goals. Think about a time when you were faced with the decision to start over. What held you back? Was it the fear of failure, the pain of letting go, or the uncertainty of the unknown? Understanding these fears can help you confront them as you move forward. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep going in the face of adversity. It's a critical skill in both personal and professional life, and it's especially important when it comes to starting over. Resilience doesn't mean that you won't experience setbacks or challenges. Rather, it means that when these occur, you're able to pick yourself up, learn from the experience, and continue moving forward. Psychologists have identified several factors that contribute to resilience, including a positive attitude, the ability to regulate emotions, and a strong support system. Resilient people view setbacks not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to grow and improve. This mindset is crucial when starting over, because it allows you to see new beginnings not as a burden, but as a chance to create something even better. Remember, every setback is a setup for a comeback. When you start over, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. You've learned what doesn't work, and now you have the knowledge and insight to try a new approach. Embrace the opportunity to begin again, knowing that you're stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Before she became a household name, Oprah faced significant setbacks. Early in her career, she was fired from her first television job as an evening news reporter in Baltimore. Her producers felt she was too emotionally invested in her stories, a trait they saw as a liability rather than an asset. Instead of giving up, Oprah chose to start over. She took a job co-hosting a low-rated morning talk show, a role that seemed like a step backward. But Oprah brought her authentic self to the show, connecting with viewers in a way that was rare for television at the time. The show's ratings soared, and eventually, Oprah went on to create her own successful talk show, production company, and media empire. Oprah's story is a powerful example of how starting over, even after a significant setback, can lead to unprecedented success. By embracing the opportunity to reinvent herself, she turned what could have been a career-ending failure into the foundation of her success. Oprah's journey reminds us that starting over isn't a sign of failure, it's a testament to resilience and the courage to pursue your true potential. Like Oprah, you have the power to turn setbacks into opportunities for reinvention and growth. Here are some strategies to help you navigate the process of starting over. 1. The first step in starting over is accepting that the previous approach didn't work. This can be difficult, but it's crucial to acknowledge the situation so you can move forward without dwelling on past efforts. 2. Take time to reflect on what went wrong and what you can learn from the experience. What mistakes were made? What would you do differently next time? Use these insights to inform your new approach. 3. Starting over is an opportunity to set fresh, realistic goals based on your current circumstances and knowledge. Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, and aligned with your long-term vision. 4. Develop a detailed plan for how you'll achieve your new goals. Break down the steps into manageable tasks, and set a timeline for completing them. A clear plan will help you stay focused and motivated as you begin again. 5. Surround yourself with people who believe in your ability to succeed. Whether it's friends, family, mentors, or accountability partners, having a strong support system can provide encouragement and keep you on track during challenging times. 6. Embrace the process. Starting over can be daunting, but it's also an exciting opportunity to grow and improve. Embrace the process, stay open to new possibilities, and trust that each step forward is bringing you closer to your goals. Starting over is a powerful act of resilience and courage. It's an acknowledgement that while things didn't go as planned, you have the strength and determination to try again, wiser and more prepared than before. Remember, every new beginning is an opportunity to create something better, to apply what you've learned, and to move closer to your ultimate goals. Don't be afraid to start over. Embrace it as a crucial part of your journey toward success. Chapter 10. Celebrating progress to fuel future action. Picture yourself on a long journey toward a distant goal. The road ahead is full of challenges, and the destination feels far away. It's easy to get discouraged, to feel like you're not making progress fast enough, or to lose sight of why you started in the first place. But what if, along the way, you pause to celebrate each milestone, no matter how small? These moments of recognition could serve as powerful fuel, reinvigorating your motivation and reminding you of how far you've come. Celebrating progress is an often overlooked yet essential part of achieving long-term goals. It provides the momentum needed to keep going, especially when the path ahead seems daunting. In this chapter, we'll explore the importance of celebrating your achievements, how it boosts motivation, and the best ways to incorporate celebration into your journey. Celebrating progress is more than just a feel-good activity, it has significant psychological benefits. When you acknowledge and celebrate your achievements, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure, motivation, and reward. This dopamine boost reinforces the behaviors that led to the success, making you more likely to repeat them in the future. Moreover, celebrating progress helps to shift your focus from what you haven't yet accomplished to what you have. This shift in perspective is crucial for maintaining motivation over the long term. When you're constantly focused on the gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's easy to feel discouraged. But when you take time to celebrate your wins, no matter how small, you build a positive feedback loop that encourages further action. It's natural to downplay your accomplishments, especially if they seem minor compared to your larger goals. But every step forward is worth celebrating because it brings you closer to where you want to be. Recognizing these moments isn't about indulging in self-congratulation, it's about honoring the effort and progress you've made, which in turn fuels the journey ahead. Think about the last time you achieved a small win. Did you take the time to celebrate it? How did it make you feel? How might celebrating more of your achievements impact your motivation and overall journey? Despite the benefits, many people neglect to celebrate their progress. There are several reasons for this. 1. Perfectionists often feel that unless a goal is fully achieved, there's nothing worth celebrating. They might see small wins as insignificant or worry that celebrating too soon could jinx their success. 2. In some cultures, humility is valued over self-promotion, leading people to downplay their achievements. They might worry about appearing boastful or fear that celebrating their success could make others uncomfortable. 3. High achievers often have a future-oriented mindset, constantly looking ahead to the next goal. This forward focus can make it easy to overlook the importance of celebrating present progress. 4. Some people fear that celebrating success will lead to complacency. They worry that taking time to acknowledge progress might cause them to lose their drive or settle for less than their ultimate goal. If you recognize yourself in any of these reasons, you're not alone. It's common to feel hesitant about celebrating progress, especially if you're driven by big goals and high standards. But it's important to remember that celebrating progress doesn't mean you're done, it means you're on your way, and that deserves recognition. Consider the story of Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. Throughout his career, Phelps was known for his relentless work ethic and focus on long-term goals. But what's often overlooked is how he celebrated the small wins along the way. For Phelps, every practice session, every personal best, and every race victory, no matter how minor, was an opportunity to celebrate progress. Phelps understood that these celebrations were crucial for maintaining his motivation and drive. By recognizing his achievements at every step, he built the confidence and momentum needed to continue pursuing his larger goals. His story is a testament to the power of celebrating progress, not just as a way to mark milestones, but as a strategy for sustaining long-term success. Like Phelps, you can use celebration as a tool to build confidence and momentum. Each time you acknowledge your progress, you reinforce the belief that you're capable of achieving your goals. This positive reinforcement is key to staying motivated and resilient, even when the journey gets tough. Here are some strategies to help you celebrate your progress in a meaningful and motivating way. 1. Break your larger goals into smaller, manageable milestones. These can be based on time, such as weekly or monthly goals, or on specific achievements, such as completing a project phase or reaching a fitness target. Celebrating each milestone keeps you motivated and provides regular opportunities for recognition. 2. Choose celebrations that are meaningful to you. This could be as simple as treating yourself to a favorite meal, taking a day off to relax, or sharing your success with loved ones. The key is to choose rewards that feel like a true acknowledgement of your effort. 3. Keep a journal where you record your achievements, big and small. Writing down your wins not only provides a record of your progress, but also reinforces the positive feelings associated with your accomplishments. Reviewing this journal can be a powerful motivator when you're facing challenges. 4. Don't be afraid to share your successes with others, whether it's with a close friend, accountability partner, or social media community. Sharing your progress can amplify the celebration and provide additional encouragement and support. 5. Take time to reflect on how far you've come since you started. Look at the obstacles you've overcome, the skills you've developed, and the progress you've made. This reflection helps you appreciate your journey and reinforces your commitment to your goals. 6. Cultivate a sense of gratitude for each step forward. Gratitude not only enhances the joy of celebration but also helps you stay focused on the positive aspects of your journey, even when challenges arise. Celebrating progress isn't just about marking the end of a journey, it's about acknowledging and appreciating the steps along the way. Each small win is a building block that brings you closer to your larger goals, and taking the time to celebrate these moments can provide the motivation, confidence, and resilience needed to keep going. Remember, the journey toward your goals is made up of many small steps, and each one is worth celebrating. So don't wait for the finish line, celebrate your progress today, and let it fuel your future success. Chapter 11. Long-term mindset shifts for sustained success. Imagine you've achieved a significant goal, whether it's getting in shape, launching a successful business, or completing a major project. The sense of accomplishment is exhilarating, but as the initial excitement fades, you might start to wonder, what's next? Without a long-term mindset, even the most significant achievements can feel fleeting. The key to sustained success isn't just in reaching your goals but in adopting a mindset that supports continued growth and progress over the long haul. A long-term mindset is the foundation of lasting change. It's about shifting your perspective from short-term wins to ongoing development, from a fixed destination to a continuous journey. In this chapter, we'll explore the mindset shifts necessary to maintain and build upon your successes, ensuring that your achievements lead to enduring transformation. Short-term thinking is focused on immediate results, hitting a specific target, completing a task, or achieving a quick win. While these accomplishments are important, they often come with a sense of finality. Once the goal is reached, there's a risk of losing momentum, falling back into old habits, or feeling aimless without a new objective in sight. In contrast, long-term thinking is about sustained growth and evolution. It's the recognition that success isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Long-term thinkers understand that every goal is just one step on a larger journey, and they're constantly looking for ways to build on their achievements, learn from their experiences, and continue progressing. It's natural to focus on short-term goals. They're tangible, measurable, and provide a sense of immediate gratification. But to create lasting change, it's essential to adopt a long-term mindset that prioritizes continuous improvement and adaptability. This shift in perspective can help you maintain your progress and avoid the pitfalls that often accompany success. Think about a time when you achieved a significant goal. What happened afterward? Did you continue to build on your success, or did you find yourself struggling to maintain momentum? How might a long-term mindset have influenced your approach? To cultivate a long-term mindset, it's essential to make several key shifts in how you think about success, growth, and progress. 1. A fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, talents, and intelligence are static, that you're either born with them or you're not. In contrast, a growth mindset, as coined by psychologist Carol Dweck, is the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Embracing a growth mindset allows you to view challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, rather than as threats to your self-worth. 2. Rather than seeing success as a fixed point to be reached, adopt the mindset that it's an ongoing journey. Each goal achieved is a milestone on this journey, not the final destination. This perspective helps you stay motivated and engaged, even after you've accomplished a significant objective. 3. A scarcity mindset is rooted in the belief that resources, opportunities, and success are limited, that if someone else wins, you lose. An abundance mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that there's plenty to go around, that success and opportunities are infinite, and that helping others achieve their goals doesn't detract from your own. This shift encourages collaboration, generosity, and a positive outlook on your long-term prospects. 4. Perfectionism, as discussed in a previous chapter, can be a significant barrier to sustained success. Shifting from a perfectionist mindset to one focused on progress allows you to take consistent action, learn from your mistakes, and continue moving forward without getting stuck in the pursuit of unattainable standards. 5. Immediate rewards are tempting, but they often come at the expense of long-term fulfillment. By focusing on long-term goals and the deeper sense of satisfaction that comes from sustained effort and growth, you can avoid the trap of short-term thinking and build a life that's rich with purpose and meaning. These mindset shifts aren't just theoretical, they're practical strategies that can transform how you approach your goals and your life. By adopting a long-term mindset, you can maintain your momentum, overcome obstacles, and continue growing, no matter what challenges come your way. Consider the story of Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history. Buffett's success isn't the result of chasing short-term gains or making impulsive decisions. Instead, it's built on a long-term mindset that prioritizes steady, consistent growth over time. Buffett is known for his patience, discipline, and ability to think decades into the future, rather than focusing on immediate profits. Buffett's investment strategy is a perfect example of long-term thinking in action. He doesn't just look at a company's current performance, he considers its long-term potential, its management, and its ability to weather economic storms. This approach has allowed him to build a fortune, but more importantly, it's allowed him to create lasting value. Not just for himself, but for the companies he invests in and the broader economy. Buffett's success is a testament to the power of a long-term mindset. By focusing on sustainable growth and long-term potential, he has not only achieved incredible financial success, but also left a legacy that will endure for generations. Buffett's story reminds us that lasting success isn't about quick wins or fleeting moments of glory. It's about thinking ahead, making smart, patient decisions, and staying committed to your long-term goals. Like Buffett, you can apply a long-term mindset to your own pursuits, ensuring that your achievements lead to sustained success and lasting impact. Here are some strategies to help you shift your mindset from short-term thinking to a long-term perspective. 1. In addition to your short-term objectives, set long-term goals that reflect your broader vision for your life and career. These goals should be ambitious yet realistic, and they should guide your decision-making and daily actions. 2. Embrace a growth mindset by committing to lifelong learning. Seek out new knowledge, skills, and experiences that will help you grow over time. This might include reading books, taking courses, attending workshops, or learning from mentors. 3. Long-term success requires patience and discipline. Practice delaying gratification, staying focused on your long-term goals, and making decisions that align with your broader vision rather than short-term impulses. 4. Cultivate resilience by viewing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. When setbacks occur, focus on what you can learn from the experience and how you can apply those lessons to your long-term journey. 5. A vision board is a powerful tool for maintaining a long-term mindset. Fill it with images, quotes, and symbols that represent your long-term goals and aspirations. Place it somewhere you'll see it every day, as a reminder of what you're working toward. 6. Recognize and celebrate your long-term achievements, not just the short-term wins. Reflect on how far you've come and how much you've grown, and use these reflections to fuel your continued efforts. A long-term mindset is essential for sustained success and lasting fulfillment. By shifting your perspective from short-term results to long-term growth, you can continue to build on your achievements, overcome challenges, and create a life rich with purpose and meaning. Remember, the journey toward success is ongoing. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about continuously evolving, learning, and growing. Embrace the journey, think long-term, and watch as your efforts lead to enduring success. Chapter 12. The Power of Mindset Shifts. Imagine waking up one morning with a renewed sense of purpose. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable now appear as opportunities for growth. The setbacks that once discouraged you now motivate you to push forward. This transformation didn't come from a change in circumstances but from a change in your mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, and it has the power to shape your reality, influencing your decisions, actions, and ultimately your success. In this chapter, we'll explore how shifting your mindset can unlock new levels of achievement and fulfillment. By understanding and harnessing the power of mindset shifts, you can overcome obstacles, achieve your goals, and create a life that aligns with your true potential. One of the most influential concepts in psychology regarding mindset is the distinction between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. This concept, developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, describes how our beliefs about our abilities influence our behavior. A fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are static traits that cannot be significantly developed. People with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges, give up easily, and feel threatened by the success of others. They see effort as fruitless if you're not naturally good at something, and often focus on proving themselves rather than improving themselves. In contrast, a growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, and learning. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist through difficulties, and view effort as a path to mastery. They are inspired by others' success and are open to learning from feedback and criticism. It's important to note that no one has a purely fixed or growth mindset all the time. We all have areas where we might lean more toward one mindset than the other. The key is to recognize when a fixed mindset is holding you back and to actively cultivate a growth mindset to unlock your potential. Think about a recent challenge you faced. Did you approach it with a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? How did your mindset influence your response to the challenge and its outcome? The power of a mindset shift cannot be overstated. When you shift from a fixed to a growth mindset, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. Challenges become opportunities, failures become learning experiences, and effort becomes a path to success. This shift not only influences your personal growth but also affects your relationships, career, and overall well-being. Research shows that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to achieve their goals, build resilience, and experience higher levels of satisfaction in life. They are better equipped to handle adversity, adapt to change, and continue progressing even in the face of setbacks. This is because a growth mindset fosters a belief in the potential for improvement, which drives consistent action and perseverance. Consider the story of Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players of all time. Serena didn't achieve her success solely through natural talent. Her mindset played a crucial role. Throughout her career, Serena has faced numerous challenges, from injuries to intense competition. However, she consistently approached these challenges with a growth mindset. When Serena encountered setbacks, she didn't see them as indications that she wasn't good enough. Instead, she viewed them as opportunities to learn, improve, and come back stronger. This mindset allowed her to persevere through tough times, continually refine her skills, and maintain her status as a top athlete over decades. Serena's mindset shift didn't happen overnight. It was cultivated through years of dedication, hard work, and a willingness to embrace challenges. Her story is a powerful example of how shifting your mindset can lead to sustained success and resilience. Like Serena, you can cultivate a growth mindset that empowers you to face challenges head-on, learn from your experiences, and continue growing. Remember, your mindset is within your control, and by shifting it, you can change the trajectory of your life. Here are some strategies to help you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. 1. The first step in shifting your mindset is to recognize when you're operating from a fixed mindset. Pay attention to your thoughts and self-talk, especially when you encounter challenges or setbacks. Are you focusing on your limitations, or are you looking for ways to grow? 2. When you notice a fixed mindset belief, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true? For example, if you think, I'm just not good at this, reframe it as, I'm not good at this yet, but I can improve with practice. 3. Actively seek out challenges that push you out of your comfort zone. View these challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as threats to your abilities. The more you embrace challenges, the more you'll develop a growth mindset. 4. Instead of seeing feedback as criticism, view it as valuable information that can help you improve. Seek feedback from others and use it as a tool for growth. Remember, feedback is not a reflection of your worth, it's an opportunity to enhance your skills. 5. Focus on the effort you put into your tasks, rather than just the outcomes. Celebrate the progress you make, even if it's small. This reinforces the belief that growth comes from consistent effort and encourages you to keep pushing forward. 6. Surround yourself with people who have a growth mindset. Engage with mentors, friends, or colleagues who encourage you to learn, grow, and embrace challenges. A supportive community can reinforce your growth mindset and inspire you to continue developing. Your mindset is one of the most powerful tools you have in shaping your reality and achieving your goals. By shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, you can unlock new levels of potential, resilience, and fulfillment. Remember, your mindset is not fixed, it's something you can cultivate and change over time. Embrace the power of mindset shifts and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Chapter 13. Taking the first step. The journey begins again. Imagine standing at the start of a new journey. The road ahead is filled with possibilities, but also with unknowns. You've made progress before, you've faced challenges, and you've celebrated victories. Now, as you stand on the brink of a new chapter in your life, the question isn't whether you can succeed, you know you can. The question is, will you take the first step? This chapter is about embracing the cycle of growth and transformation. No matter how many goals you've achieved or how many challenges you've overcome, the journey of personal and professional growth is never truly complete. Each new goal, each new challenge requires that same initial courage, the courage to take the first step. In this final chapter, we'll explore the importance of continuously moving forward, the power of beginnings, and how to keep the momentum alive as you embark on the next phase of your journey. Starting something new can be daunting, even when you've done it before. The fear of the unknown, the uncertainty of the outcome, and the challenge of leaving your comfort zone can all create resistance. But it's important to remember that every new beginning is an opportunity to apply what you've learned, to grow even further, and to create something meaningful. Taking the first step isn't just about starting a new project or setting a new goal, it's about renewing your commitment to personal and professional growth. It's about recognizing that growth is a continuous process, one that requires you to step forward, again and again, even when the path isn't clear. Think about the last time you started something new. What fears or doubts did you have? How did you overcome them? What did you learn from that experience that you can apply to your next beginning? The first step is often the hardest because it represents the point of greatest uncertainty. Before you begin, the potential for success and failure are equally unknown. This uncertainty can trigger fear, self-doubt, and procrastination. However, once you take that first step, the path becomes clearer and momentum begins to build. Psychologically, taking the first step shifts you from a state of contemplation to one of action. This shift is powerful because it moves you out of your head, where fear and doubt often reside, and into the real world, where you can start making tangible progress. Research in behavioral psychology shows that breaking inertia with a single, small action can significantly increase the likelihood of continued effort and eventual success. The key is to start, no matter how small the first step may be. Remember, it's not about taking a giant leap, it's about moving forward. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. And as you continue to take steps one after the other, you build momentum, confidence, and clarity. Consider the story of Rosa Parks, whose decision to remain seated on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama, in 1955 became the first step in a movement that would change the course of history. On the surface, her actions seemed simple. She refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. But this first step, taken in defiance of an unjust law, sparked the Montgomery bus boycott and became a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks' first step was not without fear or uncertainty, but it was a deliberate action that aligned with her values and her belief in equality. That single act of courage inspired thousands of others to take their own steps, leading to a nationwide movement for civil rights. Rosa Parks' story reminds us that the first step, no matter how small it may seem, has the power to create ripples far beyond what we can imagine. It's a testament to the impact of taking action, even in the face of fear and uncertainty. Like Rosa Parks, you have the power to take that first step towards something greater. Whether it's a personal goal, a professional aspiration, or a cause you believe in, your first step is the catalyst for everything that follows. It's not about knowing exactly where the journey will lead, it's about having the courage to begin. Here are some strategies to help you take that crucial first step and keep moving forward. 1. Break down your goal into the smallest possible step you can take right now. It might be as simple as making a phone call, writing the first sentence of a book, or researching your next career move. The smaller the step, the easier it is to take, and the more likely you are to continue. 2. Don't leave your first step to chance. Set a specific date and time to begin, and hold yourself accountable. Mark it on your calendar, and treat it as a non-negotiable commitment. 3. Take a moment to visualize what success looks like for you. Imagine yourself achieving your goal, and focus on how it feels. This visualization can help reduce fear and increase motivation to take the first step. 4. When you feel hesitation, count down from 5 and then take action. This simple technique, popularized by Mel Robbins, interrupts the habit of overthinking and encourages immediate action. 5. Share your goal and your commitment to taking the first step with someone you trust. Accountability partners can provide encouragement, support, and a gentle push when you need it. 6. After taking the first step, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be anything big, just something that acknowledges your effort and reinforces the positive behavior of taking action. The first step is where the journey begins, but it's also where it continues. Every new beginning requires the courage to take that first step, to move forward even when the path is uncertain. As you stand on the brink of your next challenge, remember that you've taken first steps before, and you can do it again. Each step you take brings you closer to your goals, and with each step you grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable. This chapter is not the end, it's a new beginning. The journey of growth, success, and transformation is ongoing, and it's up to you to continue taking steps, one after the other. So take that first step today, and let it be the start of something extraordinary. Final words. As you close this book, remember that your journey is just beginning. The insights, strategies, and stories you've encountered are tools to help you navigate the challenges ahead, but the true power lies in your hands. Every step you take, every challenge you face, and every moment of growth brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. Embrace the discomfort, the setbacks, and the victories alike. Each is a vital part of your story, shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The road ahead may not always be clear, but with courage, determination, and the willingness to start again whenever needed, you will continue to move forward. Your journey is unique, and the path is yours to forge. So take that first step, today, tomorrow, and every day after. Trust in your ability to grow, to overcome, and to achieve. The best is yet to come. Remember to do it anyway. Take care and be well.